FIMS has really developed my curiosity about the world. My name is Simran and I study in the Faculty of Information and Media Studies. It was the only program that combined the critical media theory that I wanted with practical skills and a beautiful campus. Western is great because we're such a diverse group of people that you find role models and they help you find the person that you want to be. FIMS actually offers internships through the faculties. It develops your personal skills, it develops your professional skills, and that's giving you a competitive advantage in the workplace. To me, this campus is a place where people come and learn about themselves, they learn about the world, and I think that if they made the most of their Western experience, they'll leave a changed person.
You shouldn't choose a one-size-fits-all education because you weren't meant to fit in. Consider a university that challenges you to show up and show off the ways in which you're going to change the world. Because we are one of Canada's oldest liberal arts universities, offering an academically elite yet accessible education since 1863. Looking to make your mark in the world? Want to gain the skills and connections to do so? Choose a university where you actually can do that and become a true leader with heart.
Welcome to the third Forest City Youth Film Festival. I'm Dorothy Downs. I'm the Executive Director of the FCFF, and I am so thrilled to welcome you all to see these 25 films and 4 pitches where they belong, on the big screen, in a shared space with others in a theater. We are so proud of each and every one of these finalists. Our alumni are growing in numbers now, and as they move through their post-secondary careers, we're so thrilled with the work that they continue to do, having had a head start of the experience of being celebrated here at the Forest City Youth Film Festival. Our educational program has expanded to 10 seminars each year. We are headed in a great direction and are so happy to be here for the benefit of film-loving students around this region. I want to acknowledge that this land has been home to storytellers for thousands of years. And as a film festival that celebrates the storytellers of this region, it's our honor and our responsibility to acknowledge that the land on which we are located is part of the treaty lands and traditional territory of the Anishinaabe of the Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, the Lenape of the Munsee Delaware Nation, and the traditional territory of the Oneida Nation of the Thames, which is part of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. This territory is subject to the Dish with One Spoon Covenant, which is between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe to share and protect the land and resources. We're grateful to live and work in this beautiful, beautiful place. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our 2 wonderfully charismatic hosts. Madison Comfort is a Medway High School student, and Sophie Much is a Sir Frederick Banting Secondary School student. Both of these students are also reporters for the Young and Free Press. Welcome, please, Sophie and Madison.
Welcome to the 3rd annual Forest City Youth Film Festival. We're your hosts this evening. I'm Sophie Much.
And I'm Madison Comfort, and we're a part of the Young and Free Press.
Our goal is to inspire, showcase, and celebrate the exceptional talent of students all across Southwestern Ontario as they gain industry knowledge and empower their voices through film. The Forest City Youth Film Festival would like to thank all students who submitted films this year.
We commend their dedication, creativity, and talent. Finalists, we are honored to be celebrating you tonight.
Thank you to the Southwestern Ontario School Boards, the London community, and all of the sponsors for supporting this event. We are thrilled to be giving out $5,000 in prizes this evening, including $200 for the runners-up and $300 for each of the winners.
And now, please enjoy a short video profile of Forest City Youth Film Festival alumni, Ethan Hickey. Ethan was the 2019 winner of Most Enterprising Filmmaker Award and has since gone on to direct his first feature film, which was shot here in London this past summer.
It's just such a weird 200 days where I just pumped out like 6 or 7 short films. I hadn't seen other people's work, so I didn't know exactly where I'd fit in. It was the first time that I've ever seen any of my work on a bigger screen. There's a really great photo of all of my friends and we're watching Graveyard Shift, and it's just all of us are just smiling. Great experience, and one that I will cherish for a long time. I was honestly more happy to see other talented filmmakers there. It's just great to get a connection like that. In between the time of me finding out I got into the festival happening, I had shot Dream State. And then from there, I did 2 proof of concepts, Burden 1 and Burden 2, and then from there, just finished shooting the feature film version of Burden. I will be shooting my second feature next year, and then I will be shooting my third one in 2023, and so on and so forth from there.
We'll now introduce our first category of animation, sponsored by Fanshawe School of Digital Performing Arts.
Our animation expert judge is Dave Latour, a veteran of the animation industry and coordinator of Fanshawe's 3D animation and character design program. In the past, Dave has worked at Industrial Light, Plus Magic, and Activision, and has animated such beloved characters such as Rocky and Bullwinkle, The Mummy, and the Hulk.
We'd now like to welcome David Latour to present our finalists and awards in the animation category.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. Hi, I'm David Latour. I'm the coordinator of the ANC program at Fanshawe College here in London, and I'd like to introduce the next category. This is the animation category. Now, animation is a series of images produced frame by frame and then played in quick succession to create the illusion of movement. And here are the nominees.
boys and play cards, they sing songs in the car. Ride bikes until sunset and rent us a private jet. Wish I could buy a friend. No, wish I could buy a friend.
And the runner-up in the animation category is Rude Awakening by Armin Krywiak. Congratulations, Armin. And now the winning entry in the animation category, Escape from the Facility by Liam Elliott. Congratulations, Liam, and thanks very much for watching.
What an amazing group of finalists. Congratulations to Armin and Liam on your win.
And now on to our next category of documentary, sponsored by Western's Faculty of Information and Media Studies.
Our documentary judge, John Reed, has worked in television, film, and theater production in Los Angeles on projects ranging from Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear to the American Teacher Award for the Disney Channel.
And now we'd like to welcome John Reed from Western's Faculty of Information and Media Studies.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. I'm John Reed from the Faculty of Information and Media Studies at Western University. Documentary is a factual motion picture intended to document some aspect of reality, primarily for the purposes of education or for maintaining a historical record. And it's my pleasure to introduce the documentary category in this year's Youth Film Festival.
There was a time when we couldn't practice our songs or dances. I danced for those who couldn't. We are still here. There was a time when we couldn't practice our culture or use our sacred medicines. I smudged for those who couldn't. We are still here. There was a time when our language was taken from us. I'm learning my language for those who it was stripped from. We are still here. There was a time when we were forced to change our self-identities. I wear my moccasins and beads for those who were told they couldn't. We are still here. There was a time our hair was cut and forbidden. I braid my hair for those who lost theirs. We are still here. Still today, a girl was told she couldn't wear her ribbon skirt to a formal event at school. I wear my ribbon skirt on Wednesdays in solidarity with her. We are still here. There was a time in which all our lands were stolen. I honor and protect these lands we know are still ours. We are still here.
You would start your day off by getting your bunk or your quarters ready. Then you go and wash up. And then the first thing you do before you have breakfast is you go do the chores. Every residential school in Ontario had a farm. So the boys were around the outside doing the chores, women were in the inside getting the day ready. And all of this is child labor. They were forced to do it, they weren't asked. And that farm had fresh vegetables, it had chicken for fresh eggs, and they had meat, but that was never fed to them. So when it was breakfast time, all the children ever ate was mush, almost like a poor man's oatmeal. And they were drinking curdled milk. They were not drinking not healthy water. So a lot of the children that did go to residential school were undernutrition and literally died. They passed away with diseases and sicknesses that doctors couldn't cure because it was too far away. Then they would go to school. They would learn English, math, and spelling. And you have evening chores, and then it was bedtime. And that was repetitive, 365 times a year.
Goal was, in quotation marks in the policy, to kill the Indian in the child. And that meant to really destroy their culture, make them lose their any ties to language, religious practices, and then try to, in the words of the past, civilize them and make them more European.
So in the schools, they would not allow the Indigenous students to speak their own languages. They would not allow them to wear their own cultural clothing. They had to speak, if they were in an English area, just English, and they were punished quite severely if they spoke their mother tongue or their Indigenous language. If they were in a French area, then they had to speak in French. They were often removed from their families and had to go to a school very far away from their actual home. And so they were very isolated and very alienated. And the goal of this was, again, to make them less Indigenous and more, we'll say, colonial.
And the belief was that all cultures that were not European were inferior, and therefore you had to Europeanize, if that's a word, these children. Well, like people, countries take a long time to recognize their mistakes and then own up to them. Obviously, there were lots of horrible things that happened in residential schools: physical, sexual abuse, isolation from families, loss of culture, what's been called cultural genocide, the death of languages and religious practices.
I know a story of Geronimo Henry, who was a very profound speaker, who talks about his time at the residential school called the Mohawk Institute in Brantford. He waited every summer for his mom to come and pick him up. Every summer, and he went in when he was 5 years old. Not one summer came where she went and picked him up. Not one visit from his family. But a lot of these kids too weren't living close to their community. Some of them were shipped out. So kids from the east went to the west, vice versa. Ones in the north came down south. You would see your parents or any of your family when they were done with you at residential school. So can you imagine if you went to school starting at 5, it didn't come out until the age that you are now? What kind of connection would you have with your community?
So I believe that Indigenous people these days are actually some of the most forgiving people that we have in our country.
It is too late to change the past. It is too late to say that that shouldn't have happened. These types of things now we can talk about and have a common understanding. And when we talk about Orange Shirt Day, we should thank that woman that did it, named Phyllis, to bring that awareness. And that type of awareness is so that no child should ever go through that. Every child matters. You matter, and I mean that. Yes, this happened, but we got the power to change the future. And that this type of pain and suffering we can heal, so that we can share our religion, our lifestyles with each other, where it's not just looking through a small lens.
Knots. Something so simple, yet the invention helped develop society. Knots predate both stone tools and fire. Originally made from sinew or grass, rope was the building block of all knots. Rope and simple knots allowed for the ability to catch food, and as time progressed, rope and knots became the cornerstone for development of travel, building, and weapons. This can be seen in depictions of Egyptians moving rocks with rope, suspension bridges originating in China, and weapons such as ballistas and catapults created by the ancient Greeks and Romans. Specifically, the creation of fabric and sails allowed for sea travel. As the variety of uses for rope grew, so did the demand for it. Many cultures had ways of making rope, but in the 1500s, North American rope walks sped up the process. The introduction of hemp as a rope material soon dominated the industry, and in 1660, hemp was now used for making sails, ropes, and textiles. Although the improvement of the industrial industry has removed human contact from most knot processes, it hasn't removed the craft altogether. Knots are still being used today for both practical and artistic applications. I myself love the crafting application of knots. In the crafting community, techniques such as woven fabric and the process of knitting and crocheting have stayed popular for years, but new ways to use threads and ropes have also become popular. Specifically, the introduction of the internet has opened access to many websites where people are taught how to use knotting. Personally, I like making friendship bracelets. Simply made from a combination of double hitch knots, this hobby has inspired websites that offer free patterns. With the abundance of electronic resources, websites that teach knots are more popular than ever. Macrame, which was introduced to the English court in the 1600s, has recently become extremely popular, with many tutorials available on websites like Pinterest, all from a quick Google search. Crafting knots tend to come in and out of style, but what about the knots used in practical situations? For this, I turned to my grandpa Tom, who loves knots, and my younger brother Cyrus, who does amateur arbory climbing, for more answers. My grandpa Tom is not only a fisherman, but an avid knotter. After looking at some of the pieces he had created, both for his boat and that had a practical application, I sat down with him to see when he started knotting and why he loves to do it.
In the Boy Scouts, we use knots to tether tents together at night. We would have big tugs of war where we would have knots tied into ropes that were 30 feet long, and 6 of us on one side, 6 on the other side. And they just became ingrained in me as something super useful. Boating guys are really, their delight in their passion for boats, and boats have been around a long time. So that when you go down to a dock and you see a boat in which the mooring lines are circled and coiled on the deck, you think, oh, that guy knows what he's doing. And then when you see, say, handmade rope bumpers, you just, as a boat, you stand back and say, my golly, that guy, he's so cool. He just understands his trade.
After hearing about how knots could be used in a practical sense, I decided I wanted to see them in action. And for this, I asked Cyrus for a demonstration.
I like to climb because it's fun, and it's good exercise, and it's pretty cool. I use anchor hitches, lots of prusik and friction knots, and just common knots you use every day. I use knots because it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to buy like a whole metal thing. And no matter what happens, as long as you got a chunk of rope, you can make do with that. Like if you lose your, like a sender, you can just make one with a prusik knot, so then you don't have to worry about buying one or having one.
At the end of the day, you will always need knots. Whether they made the fabric of your shirt or help tie your shoes, they will never really become obsolete. Knots can turn into a super fun hobby that can lead to hours of fun if you let them. So the next time you tie your shoes, just know that
a rope was only as good as the knots that were tied in it.
And if you're thinking of getting into climbing,
don't use dollar store rope, you'll probably die.
All it takes is a simple rope and a single knot to lead to endless possibilities.
My name's Tony Kime. I'm the president of a company named Blue Water Pipe Inc. We manufacture farm drainage pipe used throughout Southwestern Ontario to drain farmers' fields. So this bottle is full of plastic polyethylene pellets. These are put under compression in a machine, melted, and come out as the consistency of Play-Doh. And then we put that plastic into a machine called a corrugator, which forms it into the bumpy pipe that you see here. We decided early on that we would start to make colored pipe. Most people that are familiar with this product would know it as black. The pipe color that we make the most is blue, and this has become a brand of Blue Water pipe in farm drainage in Southwestern Ontario. So the process of getting organized to do the Christmas truck, we had to make a bunch of green, white, and red plastic pipe. We ran a whole day's production, and it turned out that we ended up sending green, white, and red pipe out in the fields, and then we kept enough coils back so that we could actually have them available to put on our Christmas truck, which took 6 of these big rolls. When I first came up with the thought about doing a Christmas truck and started to talk to some of the staff here, the first reaction was, Tony, there's no parades this year. My reaction was, that's the point. started off with 4 rolls of Christmas lights, each of them with, I think, 85 feet. We also had to put a sound system on the truck. So we had a PA system, 1,500 watt Yorkville with 400 watt speakers, and the guys got all that stuff put in the right places on the truck. We needed a generator, so one of our employees had a 3,000 watt generator at home. So we used 400 feet of extension cords to hook up all the lights, and we were able to turn all the lights on, turn on the sound. Took about 4 people, 5 hours of work to put all the lights on the truck. All this came together about 5 at night, just as it was getting dark, and the Christmas truck was ready to roll. The trip really began by starting up the truck, putting it in drive, and heading out the driveway. As I reflect on just the whole evening, it was just a lot of fun going around and seeing people excited. I think there were a lot of people that smiled that night, seeing something a bit different, bright lights, a spectacle you don't normally see, and loud Christmas music. And I'd do this again anytime I have a chance.
Hey guys, you think there's anything you can learn from playing video games, or are we just sat here wasting our time?
Something I've learned from playing video games, I've learned to have a new perspective of things and think about different strategies to get an answer of something and just problem solving.
Yeah, you know, that's probably true. I remember seeing a study before about how creativity is improved through gaming.
I've learned to never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely think I've learned as much about good storytelling through video games as I have through English class.
One thing I've learned from video games is to never give up and always stay motivated.
Yeah, that's a good point too. As you can clearly see, video games can teach many different skills. However, some believe they can also teach something else. Violence.
Violent video games have encouraged the killing of innocent people for sport.
As a murder and carjacking simulator to train teens on how to do carjackings.
He was trained to kill with Call of Duty and other video games.
Video games have been attacked from all sides of the political spectrum, from Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton. News networks have also fueled the violent video game argument through frequent debates and discussions. When it comes to these discussions, no other game is talked about more than Grand Theft Auto. So, let's talk about it. It's a game where the player can do almost anything, including things such as carjacking, bank robbing, and murder, so it's no wonder that this game is at the forefront of the violent gaming argument. However, in all my research, I've come across only a dozen cases that can be legitimately traced back to Grand Theft Auto. Out of the 140 million copies that Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold, I'd say that's not a very serious ratio. Clearly, the dangers of Grand Theft Auto and other similar games are way overblown. But still, many people call out for restrictions to be implemented onto the gaming industry, especially when it comes to mature games so that they do not fall into the hands of kids. The problem is that there already are measures in place to prevent young children from playing certain games. It's called the ESRB. The ESRB rates all games that are released based upon what ages they are suitable for, with the most common ratings being E for everyone, T for teen, and M for mature. Children are not allowed to buy games rated M unless they are accompanied by a parent. These ratings can be found on the packaging of every video game in big bold letters. They are also displayed on every major online retailer as well. But despite all of these measures, some parents will still mindlessly buy their kids Call of Duty and then proceed to complain about Call of Duty being violent. Honestly, I don't blame these types of parents if they are getting their information from people like this guy.
This game is teaching people to hack in to whatever is docked in your bedroom.
What? This is easily the most ridiculous claim I've come across during all of my research. In Watch Dogs, you are able to hack into things by looking at them and pressing X on your controller. Hacking into something in real life is much more complicated than looking at it and mashing a button on your PlayStation controller. It's a bit harder than that. And this highlights the biggest issue with many of these anti-gaming arguments. Most of these critics have never actually tried the games that they criticize, and they clearly don't do any research as well. Sometimes not even a quick 2-minute Google search. More often than not, this invalidates their whole argument.
Yeah, it's completely incorrect. First of all, you can actually play as a man or a woman in the game. Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
No.
You can't just blame something you don't understand every time there's a problem in our society. The fact of the matter is that studies from the likes of Harvard and Oxford have proven that real-life crime is not driven by video games. In fact, you could even make the argument that video games actually lower the amount of real-life crime.
But crime is down. Youth offenses are down. Maybe it's good for kids.
Violent video games don't kill people. Violent people kill people. And instead of these critics using their time and effort to advocate for things like more effective mental health support, they instead disregard the entire video game industry. Art is an interpretation of reality, not the other way around.
To try to blame Shakespeare and the violence in Shakespeare and the violence in art for violence that happens in the real world is something that's been tried for years and is always wrong.
And that, my friends, is why it's unfair to blame real-world violence on video games.
So the runner-up in the documentary category in this year's Youth Film Festival goes to Family Denied by Iko Maréchal. And now the winner in the documentary category in this year's Youth Film Festival goes to We Are Still Here. Congratulations to all selections in this category. We've seen some really inspiring films.
What an amazing category. Congratulations to our filmmakers. And now, for the first of 2 new categories this year, promotional video, sponsored by Fanshawe College's London South Campus. Our promotional video judge, Courtney Ecker, is an experienced marketing leader currently serving as the Senior Manager of Marketing for Fanshawe College. She is an active member of the community as a fundraiser for epilepsy awareness, suicide prevention, and breast cancer awareness. And now, we'd like to welcome Nord Mensa from Fanshawe College's London South Campus to present our promotional video finalists.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. My name is Nord Mensa. I'm the Associate Dean at Fanshawe College's London South Campus, and we are extremely thrilled and proud to be this year's promotional video category sponsor. The promotional video category entails a short video integrating ideas that promote a product, service, or group to an audience. This can be for a local or national business, or you can use a fictional product, service, or group. Here are the finalists.
You've heard of the phrase high school, the best 4 years of your life. With the help of my fellow Crusaders, I'm going to show you exactly why CCH is the place to spend those 4 years. There is no better way to make your high school experience worthwhile than by joining some clubs. There are almost 30 clubs to choose from. Just to name a few, there are Best Buddies, film, chess, fishing, newspaper, debate, and even a Dungeons & Dragons club. If you don't find a club that fits you, you can make your own. We all know about football, hockey, and basketball, but did you know CCH also offers golf, curling, badminton, tennis, wrestling, and so much more? Don't play sports? Doesn't matter. Your Crusader spirit does not go unnoticed. What's the best thing about CCH?
The people, hands down. The staff and students. I really like all the opportunities available at CCH.
Do we really just have to pick one?
The diversity.
I would say joining all the teams and clubs and meeting some of my friends for life.
I really love the events that they run here. It really makes it feel like more than just another school. It makes it feel like a true community to me.
The technology programs are some of the best ways to learn a bunch of skills while having tons of fun doing it. Communications, construction, hospitality, design, and computer engineering are all great options for you to feel involved and create something awesome.
I wouldn't leave CCH if I got paid money to go to a different school.
CCH is far from shy of amazing ways to show off your creative skills, whether it's visual arts, digital arts, drama, music, dancing, or all of the above. There's something here for you at CCH to showcase your talents. There's no way we could talk about our amazing school without mentioning academics. Our International Baccalaureate, English as Second Language, and Specialist High Skills Major programs, along with the amazing teachers and staff, are all here to help you thrive and achieve great academic success throughout your 4 years here. Come to CCH and make it the best 4 years of your life.
Catch you later, Crusaders!
Okay, that's good. Let's do it again. I need some kind of action at the end of it.
to the studio. Come on in. Here at Amber Studio London, I am a nail technician, a nail artist, and a certified eyelash extension tech. After 20 years in the service industry, I was finally able to leave and become my own boss. And now I am able to help make people feel beautiful every day.
Do you have an idea? A story you want to write? A business that needs an ad? Well, whatever your idea is, you deserve to bring it to life. At Blue Tones, our wonderful team of designers, artists, and animators have the skills, tools, and people to make your idea into a reality. Create the media you want to see. So, do you have an idea?
In the category of promotional video, the runner-up is Amber Studio London by Haley Hirchuk. And your winner is YCCH by Elizabeth Ailapi. Congratulations to all the finalists.
What a great job. Congratulations, Elizabeth and Haley. And now it's time to screen our experimental finalists.
Professor Christine Springler teaches courses in art history and film studies in the Faculty of Arts and Humanities at Western University. She is the author of 3 books, Screening Nostalgia, Hitchcock in Contemporary Art, and Fractured 50s. She specializes in the relationship between cinema and the visual arts.
Please welcome expert judge Christine Sprengler, who will present our experimental finalists.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. Hello, I'm Christine Sprengler, a professor in the Faculty of Arts and Humanities at Western University. I am honored to have the privilege to introduce the Youth Experimental Film category and to congratulate all the nominees who have been selected for their creative vision and aesthetic ingenuity. The experimental category represents an exploration of the limitless potential of moving images. Entries may or may not be abstract, but are always deeply and profoundly artistic. Experiments with visual images and sound can be used to evoke emotion, to challenge perception, or to see the world anew. Enjoy the films, the novel experiences they offer, and the ways in which they might prompt us to reconsider what film is and what it can accomplish.
I know you, but I will never understand you. I will never understand why you run. I will never understand why you hide. You'll point to me. How foolish. You're not just rotten, darling, you're rotting. Too good to be thrown away, far too gross to salvage. Rotten is sad. Rotting is pathetic. We see glimpses of what you were, and we laugh. It's entertaining, really, the fall of an angel. Rotting tears run down your rotting cheeks. Far too gruesome for the movies, far too ugly to love. Your hands, rotting, reach for me. Why, I thought I was your enemy. I thought I was the one you're running from. You never could make up your mind, could you? Oh, and off you go again. It's cute, really, this game we play. This illusion of choice you've crafted. Sure, you may take different paths, but all paths lead to me, my dear. I will never understand why you run, why you hide. You'll point to me, but darling, all I do is load the gun. You pull the trigger.
am you? I don't understand.
Now, I have the distinct pleasure of announcing the winners. The runner-up is Gossamer by Amit Kariuti. Congratulations. And the winner of the Youth Experimental Film category is A Field of Acne Beans by Jocelyn Deng. Congratulations on your tremendous
What a talented group of students. Congratulations to Ahmed and Jocelyn.
And now, please enjoy our next profile of Forest City Youth Film Festival alumni, Queena Lou. Queena won awards in both our 2019 and 2020 festival, garnering multiple prizes for a variety of entries. She is currently studying film at Ryerson University and splits her time between school and working on film sets.
Try to tell it with your own voice. Try to really find what you want to tell and what you want to portray. It was my first sort of film experience in general. That was super cool, seeing it on a big screen and not just like my iPhone. Also hear other people in the audience reacting to my work. It also helped like when I was applying for different schools post-secondary to be able to list that on my resume. I've met a lot of awesome people through the festival. Everyone's been great as mentors or as peers. Forest City Youth Film Festival was where I started as a filmmaker, and it really helped me pursue it as a career and as what I want to do now for the rest of my life.
And now for our second category new to the festival this year, music video.
Our expert judge, Norma Coates, is Associate Professor with a joint appointment in the Don Wright Faculty of Music and the Faculty of Information and Media Studies at Western University.
Please welcome Norma Coates, who will present our music video finalists.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. It's my pleasure to present this year's winners in the music video category. Music video weds visuals, action, and special effects to music. They tell stories, illustrate lyrics, highlight performances, and much more. Successful music videos present a complete package, the components working together to entertain and sometimes enlighten.
We need some light. First of all, we need some light.
You can't sit here in the dark and all alone. It's a sorry sight.
It's just you and me. We'll live, you'll see. Night after night, we'd sit and wait for the morning light. But we've waited far too long for all that's wrong to be made right.
Day after
Day after day,
wishing all our cares away.
trying to fight the things we feel, but some hurts never heal. Some ghosts are never gone, but we go on. We still go on, and you'll find some way to survive. And you'll find out you don't have to be happy at all. To be happy or alive. Day after day, give me clouds and rain and gray. Give me pain if that's what's real. It's the price we pay to feel. The price of love is lost, but still we pay. We love anyway.
And when the night is finally gone, and when we see the new day dawn, we'll wonder how we wandered for so long, so blind. The ways to what we thought we knew, the light will make it look brand new. So let it,
So let it shine, shine, shine. Day after day, to find the will to find our way, knowing that the dark
I've got a problem that's not easy to explain, and you're going to think that I'm going and say it's got something to do with haphophobia and something is creating a dystopia. I'll have to ask you to start social distancing from more than just COVID, because that's too limiting, because if you touch me I will explode. No, 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 no. No, it's not a metaphor, I will literally explode. No, 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 no. Burst up into ashes. No, 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 no. It all started back when I was a little kid, when gunpowder's what young me cannot get rid. Mama said you're gonna turn into what you eat. Little did she know that there was no better treat. But I've moved on and I'm off that gunpowder grind. But keep away or it's the end of humankind, because if you touch me I will explode. No, 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 no. No, it's not a metaphor, I will literally explode. No, 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 no. Burst up into ashes. No, 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 no. Wait a second, I think I hear a ticking sound. Guess I shouldn't have explained this with bugs around. Oh well, there's no use in prolonging my death. I gotta go before everyone draws the last breath, because I'm going to explode. No, 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 no. No, it's not a metaphor, I'm about to literally explode. No, 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 no. Be sure to pick up my ashes. No, 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 no. Because I'm going to explode. No, 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 no. No, it's not a metaphor, I'm about to literally explode. No, 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 no. Bye.
And now to the winners. The runner-up award goes to If You Touch Me, I Will Explode, directed by Matthew Schultz. And the winner is Light, created and performed by the Beale Musical Theatre class of 2021. Big congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations, Amanda and Matthew. And now it's time to announce the finalists of our pitch category, sponsored by Huron College.
The Forest City Film Festival's executive director, Dorothy Downs, was our pitch judge this year.
Dorothy created, produced, and directed 7 internationally aired and award-winning TV series. She has enthusiastically been involved in the film industry in the region for more than 20 years.
And now, please welcome Dr. Sarah McDonald of Huron College, who will present our pitch finalists.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. Huron is delighted to be announcing the award for the Best Youth Film Pitch. I'm Sarah McDonald, and I'm a professor in both global great books and political science at Huron University. At Huron, our motto is Leaders with Heart. And what that means is that we look for students who are both curious about the nature of the world and its problems, but also inspired to seek change. And so at Huron, we develop students' intellectual capacities, but we also want to train their imaginative faculties, because it's not enough to know the world. You have to be able to imagine its solutions. And what better way to begin to train your creative abilities than to begin to think about making a film? And the first step in making a film is the pitch. A pitch is a concise presentation about an idea for a film or a television series that you hope will eventually become a screenplay. And so it's my great pleasure to announce the pitch finalists to you.
Nowadays, stories where characters get transported to an alternate dimension are super popular. This can be seen with movies like Jumanji and TV shows and anime like Sword Art Online. But oftentimes when these characters get transported to this alternate dimension, they know nothing of the world around them. But what if our protagonists knew everything about the world around them, but just didn't know how to use their knowledge? Hi, I'm Sophia, and this is my pitch for the movie Time Cross. Time Cross is a historical adventure about two childhood enemies on a class trip gone awry who must put their bad blood behind them and work together to escape a nightmare. Our main protagonist, Paul, is a top student who also happens to be a history buff. He goes on a canoeing trip and unfortunately gets partnered up with his childhood enemy, Ian. While on the canoeing trip, Ian attempts to push Pav off of the canoe, ultimately capsizing the both of them and leaving the two boys stranded in the forest at night. Pav, knowing some of the history of the area, leads the two to a decrepit church for the night. Upon waking up, the two boys realize that they're in an alternate timeline, 500 years in the past to be exact. Pav, knowing a lot about this timeline, tries to use his knowledge to seek help, but soon realizes that knowledge isn't all you need to survive the brutal conditions of the Middle Ages. Ian, on the other hand, who is perfectly capable of surviving, has no idea about anything going on around him. The two boys must put their bad blood behind them and work together to escape this historical nightmare that also happens to be Pav's greatest obsession.
Hello everyone, my name is Olivia and I'll be presenting my movie pitch for this year's Forest City Youth Film Festival. After her little sister gets kidnapped, Hannah must navigate her way through the streets of California to save her and learn about some dark secrets from their family's past. The genre of my story is a mystery thriller and it's called Blood Sisters. It begins with two sisters, Hannah and Mackenzie Watson. They belong to a wealthy family in California. Hannah, a shy 23-year-old kindergarten teacher, must now take care of her troublesome teen sister after their parents died. Hannah has a fear of not being able to provide for her little sister, despite the large sum of money left by their parents. One day, Hannah wins a draw for a free stay at a luxurious resort. Unable to go due to her very busy schedule, she gives it to Mackenzie. What seems like a harmless gesture turns into something out of a nightmare. Mackenzie has been kidnapped. Feeling responsible for her sister's disappearance, Hannah decides to take matters into her own hands and search for Mackenzie. The kidnappers send out anonymous videos on the internet asking for money and give Hannah 48 hours before they kill Mackenzie. Along the way, Hannah will discover why her sister was kidnapped and also some dark truths about their family's past. And if you were Hannah, what would you do? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Austin Osmond. Today I'll be pitching a documentary titled Rock Bottom. The film is an up-close and intimate exploration into the homeless community of London, Ontario, Canada. I'll be interviewing different types of people through different walks of life and how they ended up being homeless. I'll ask them questions such as what got them there, what's preventing them from moving forward, what can society do on a daily basis to help them out, and do they feel hopeful or hopeless in providing a better life for themselves. My hope is to show society that homelessness can happen to anybody and there can be many different routes to becoming homeless. I got the idea to make this documentary because of a homeless man named Sonny. I used to walk past Sonny every day on my way to school, on my way back from school. Over time, through talking to him and helping him out, I found out that he used to talk and had really good ideas about renewable energy in Canada. Unfortunately, Sonny fell mentally ill, which caused him to become homeless. And one day when I was walking back from school, Sonny wasn't there, which is very unusual. He had 3 carts that he always had with him. None of that was there. That night on TV, I saw that Sonny had been put in a holding cell for the night, and they had taken everything that he had, which was basically nothing with the 3 little carts. And then the next day, they put him back on the street with nothing again. It was at that moment that I wanted to do something about the constant mistreatment of the homeless community in London, Ontario. My documentary will prove that the homeless community is regular Canadians just like you and me. I will share their unfiltered stories of the ignored and outcasts. I personally want to understand how we got to this point and what we can do to solve this ever-growing problem. I wish that people who see this documentary would be inspired to help me and others like me to find a solution. Thank you.
My name is Aidan Manville, and I will be pitching a short adventure thriller movie called The Deep Blue Sea. What inspired me to make this movie was for my trips to Newfoundland, we would visit small fishing villages, and it gave me a homey, comfortable feel that would kind of want to be shown in a movie. Another inspiration was when I was younger, I had a realization that most don't make till they're older, and that realization was that death is inevitable. There's nothing you can do to stop it. You can only use it as inspiration to move forward and continue your life well. This story is about a fisherman's son and how after a drug deal goes bad, he ends up injured. His father takes him to the hospital and the son reluctantly goes. This father is worried for his son, so he decides to take him on his fishing boat after he's healed. The son hesitantly goes, but as he goes, he's kind of irritated that his father is trying to help him. Eventually, the son gets so irritated that he starts fighting his father. As the fights breaks out, storm clouds start growing in the distance. And as the story gets louder and more violent, the storm gets louder and more violent as well, to correlate with the story. Eventually, at the climax of the fight, the storm finally breaks out into thunder and lightning. They start heading back to shore, and the son, trying to be the least helpful he can be, decides to pick up a fishing net that's fallen on the deck. As he picks it up, he gets pushed out of the way, and then he turns around angrily and sees that his father has been stabbed by a fallen fishing spear and who died, and then eventually the father dies in the son's arm, and the son realizes that his father sacrificed his life to save him. As they head back to shore, the son realizes that he needs to do better in life to show that his father's death wasn't in vain. To sum up this story, after a drug deal goes bad and a fisherman's son gets injured, his father tries to take him in a better path, but the true danger is the deep blue sea.
Congratulations to all the nominees. Your talent and ability will certainly take you far. I now have the pleasure of announcing the runner-up and the winner. Starting with the runner-up. The runner-up is Blood Sisters by Olivia Montano. Congratulations, Olivia. Fantastic work. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the winner. The winner of the Youth Pitch Contest is Sophia Slabham for Time Cross. Congratulations, Sophia.
Thank you, Dr. Sarah McDonald, for announcing our pitch category, and congratulations to our winners.
And now, please welcome our final profile of the Forest City Youth Film Festival, alumni Xavier Worley. Xavier took home 5 awards at the 2020 Forest City Youth Film Festival, including Most Enterprising Filmmaker. He is currently studying his first year of film at Ryerson University.
Techniques is the school of YouTube. You just start by looking up the really simple, dumb stuff that you feel like you should know and don't. Prior to the 2020 Film Festival, I had never made a film before. I just decided that it would be an interesting challenge to just try and submit a film into every category. Getting to see the work of other youth filmmakers at the time is really inspiring because it made me want to make more films and more complex films. By submitting to the festival, I just kind of learned that there's a community that's willing to support you in your early stages because they want to see what you have to show and what you can do to move forward. The festival just gave me a great base to work from in the future, and I hope to keep on making stuff.
And now, our final screening category this evening is Narrative, sponsored by Fanshawe College's School of Contemporary Media.
Our narrative judge this year was Adam Liley. A filmmaker, writer, producer, director, and cinematographer, Adam has worked on an array of film television projects for CTV, Showcase, The Discovery, and National Geographic. He has worked in various capacities as a valued member of the Trailer Park Boys production team throughout their 20-year run, and has just completed his 13th year in the film and television program at Fanshawe College.
Now, we'd like to welcome Adam Liley to present our finalists and award for Best Narrative.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. A narrative film tells a fictional story, event, or narrative. In this style of film, believable narratives and characters help convince the audience that the unfolding fiction is real.
I don't think about that exchange often, but sometimes I do. The exchange between the one in the red dress and the one with the blue eyes. I couldn't see what was on that piece of paper. I was simply too far away. Or maybe the paper was folded up, real small, so I wouldn't have been able to see it anyway. Sometimes I think about what was on that piece of paper, the paper that was folded up real small. Maybe the one in the red dress didn't look at the paper until she got home. And she opened the front door and pulled the paper out of her bag, and she unfolded it and just stared at it for a real long time. And the words seared in her brain. Phrases of "I miss you" and "how dare you" and "I'm sorry" and "goodbye." And suddenly, the one in the red dress wished she said the words she wanted to the one with the blue eyes. Suddenly, the thing she said with her gaze wasn't enough. Yet the one in the red dress put down the paper, took off her shoes, and carried on with her day. No one would have noticed something was wrong. Well, maybe the one with the blue eyes would have. But that doesn't matter anymore. Or maybe, when the one with the blue eyes gave the paper to the one in the red dress, she had a plan. She saw it in her gaze. And when the one in the red dress went home and took out the paper that was folded up real small, it read, "Meet me at dusk." And the one in the red dress did, because she was never one to argue with the one with the blue eyes. So she met the one with the blue eyes at dusk, just like they had 1,000 times before. But this time, the one with the blue eyes had a plan. They ran away, which they hadn't done 1,000 times before. They hadn't even done it once before. But they did. And they looked at the sky. And the one with the blue eyes caught a bug and threw it at the one in the red dress, even though she was afraid. And the one with the blue eyes laughed until she cried, which caused the one in the red dress to laugh too. And they sat there, laughing, looking at the sky. They planned their weddings. They planned their funerals. The one with the blue eyes was scared that she'd never find love. The one in the red dress was scared she'd die too young. They told each other that would never happen. And then they disappeared with the sun. Or maybe, written on the piece of paper folded up real small, was an invitation. And despite their years of absence and arguing, the one with the blue eyes remembered their years of friendship and dared to invite the one in the red dress. And the one in the red dress dared to go. There were many faces the one in the red dress didn't know. Faces of people who tried to fill the void she left. Faces of failures. There were faces she remembered, but no faces that she knew. That's when the one in the red dress saw the one with the blue eyes. The one with the blue eyes knew the one in the red dress deserved more. The one in the red dress knew it too. And the fact that the one in the red dress wanted to try again proves that. And the fact that the one with the blue eyes ran away proves that. Or maybe, when the one with the blue eyes handed the paper to the one in the red dress, they were cleaning up the city. The paper folded up real small was nothing but a piece of litter, which was promptly thrown away by the one in the red dress. I don't think about the blue car that drove by, or the two children racing, or the businessman on the phone, or the couple on a date. Just like I don't think about the exchange between the one in the red dress and the one with the blue eyes. But sometimes I do.
Yo, what's good?
Man, I'm outside your house.
Yeah, I'll be out in a minute. Just give me a sec.
I know what that means, man. I'm trying to fly this party right now, and we're already pulling up late. All the boys are snapping me pics, man. It looks hype.
Yeah.
Bro, like,
Chill. If my parents hear that, they're gonna kill me. Let's go
your
downstairs.
parents care? What is taking you so long?
It's my bad, man. I'm just trying to pick a pair, and it's a little hard to decide sometimes.
Man, no one cares about what shoes you're wearing. You really gonna wear a pair of $1,300 shoes just to get them ruined?
No, I won't get them ruined, and I will wear them. Just watch. I'll wear them.
So wear them, you won't?
Yeah, you're right. I probably won't wear them because that just...
Exactly, buddy. Just pick any pair. You literally have more pairs than someone needs in their lifetime.
Yeah, I'm about to pick a pair. Just give me a sec.
I'm missing this party right now while you waste your time.
Chill. I'm about to pick a pair. Okay, yeah. We're gonna wear the
NMD.
The NMD.
Clean, simple.
Nah, I don't think it can be the NMD. I mean, technically, it could be like a Jordan 1 type beat,
Bro,
but
how are you putting so much thought into this, man?
I don't know, like, I work hard to get these shoes, so it's like when I wear them, I want to choose, like...
Who even
good
cares,
pair.
bro? We're literally missing this party while it's in its prime just because you can't pick 1 out of 30 shoes.
Bro, I care, first of all. And second of all, I'm just trying to pick the perfect pair. I have all these shoes. I want to pick the right pair out of them.
What does that mean? The perfect pair? That doesn't exist. Man, that's just an illusion.
Oh, to tell you about the perfect pair. You might have confusion about some illusion that you think that there may be, but having this logo on your feet shows people you're worth something. So, like...
Nah, bro. Let's say there's a kid in the back of your math class, and he's wearing those exact Cactus Jacks. Does that make him better than everyone else in the class?
Well, it means he's flexing on everyone in the class nicely.
Really think about this one. Just because he's wearing a pair of shoes that cost $1,000, it doesn't reflect his personality in any way.
Like, maybe not, but, like, so why does that even...
Exactly.
Like, I'm just trying to...
Let's get out of here before you waste any more time trying to pick your shoes out.
Okay, actually, just give me 1 minute here. Like, it's just hard. If you knew how hard it is, if you had, like, this many shoes, you'd know that it's not, like, an easy decision.
Man, put these on.
Like,
I'm leaving without you.
You won't leave. Like, just wait. I'll be like a minute.
I'm gonna
Give
say
me
this
a sec.
one more time, man. The shoes you're wearing in no way reflects your personality. When you wear those shoes to a party, the only thing you're telling anyone is that you need an expensive piece of material for them to approve of you. Put those on, man. I'll see you at the party.
Okay, just give me a sec. Like...
Now I have the honor of announcing the winners in this category, starting with the runner-up. And the runner-up is Mon Amour by Dexter Green. Congratulations. And now the winner. The Best Youth Narrative Award goes to But Sometimes I Do by Emma Pitchner. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Dexter and Emma on your win.
And now we'd like to present our overall festival awards. First up, the Best Youth Performance Award.
Please welcome back Dorothy Downs, our Film Festival Executive Director, to present the award.
Thanks, both of you. So, the best performance. Best youth performance. Performing in front of a camera is definitely not as easy as it looks. It's making the lines seem natural, making your emotions big enough without making them exaggerated. It's the goal, right? So the young actor that is the winner of this prize this year is a good example of working with lines and pulling them off naturally. So congratulations to our best youth performance today, this year is Angus MacDonald from the short film Shoe Illusion.
And now, we will present the Connor Kalopsis Most Enterprising Filmmaker Award.
Connor Kalopsis is a young Hollywood actor from right here in London, Ontario. He is best known for his role as Ethan Sanderson in Fox's comedy series The Grinder. He's also been seen on The McCarthys, NCIS, Sam and Cat, as well as NCIS Los Angeles.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. It's a pleasure to be back presenting this year's Most Enterprising Filmmaker Award. And this year's winner is truly amazing. He submitted 4 short films and 1 pitch video, 2 of which actually became finalists, a documentary and narrative. So, without further ado, the Most Enterprising Filmmaker Award goes to, from A.B. Lucas Secondary School, Daniel Kime. Congratulations, Daniel.
Congratulations, Daniel, on winning Most Enterprising Filmmaker. And now we'd like to introduce the award for Best Overall Film.
The winner of this award is someone who showed technical skill and creativity in their approach to film. Please welcome Nick Scott, manager of the Forest City Youth Film Festival.
Thank you, Madison and Sophie. I just wanted to start by thanking everyone in attendance tonight. Your support for these filmmakers means a great deal for the community and to the future of Canadian cinema, truly. I want to thank our finalists for taking the courageous step of creating a unique piece of art and showcasing it to the world. Don't underestimate how powerful your actions are, and I encourage you to continue on this path. This year's winner of Best Overall Film submitted in 2 categories. Their short film possessed a hypnotic narrative rhythm along with great performances and excellent writing. The best overall film of the 2021 Forest City Youth Film Festival is But Sometimes I Do by Emma Pitcher. Congratulations.
Thank you to everyone for joining us this evening and for supporting local high school talent.
Congratulations again to our finalists and winners. If you are in high school and are interested in submitting a film for next year's festival, please head over to fcff.ca for more information on our categories and guidelines. Have a great evening, everyone.